Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about my cars and trucks and motorcycles and dogs. And where are the dogs? Good morning there. Welcome to my channel. If you're a first-time subscriber, what I got there in my hat, little lint there. Hey, appreciate you tuning in this morning, this Thursday, Tennessee morning. I'm down here in Tennessee, and wow, what just an incredible Thursday morning. I mean, the weather is just like perfect golfing weather. If you're a golfer, this would be a day that you can only wish you'd be teeing off the first hole right now, because it's not much humidity, not much wind at all, and it's just that perfect weather. I mean, just beautiful down here. I need to play some golf. I think I even held my golf clubs down here, actually. So yeah, those that watch area looks familiar here. If you kind of stay in tune with me, and wow, incredible how these trees are starting to overtake the view. And so, you go 10 years ago when my mother-in-law, father-in-law first bought this home. Those trees were half. I mean, I'm not embellishing here. They're like close to half that size, where you could see the road down there. And you could just see very clearly the church and the cemetery. And now, wow. I mean, as time progresses, you're not going to be able to see that stuff. So those trees are producing themselves way too quickly. Yeah, woke up this morning, I thought, you know what? Let's talk about production. That's what I thought to myself. I read some intriguing information about Ford and electric vehicles last night. I just didn't think to myself, wow, talk about production. Here's the Hellcat Red Eye, which is the Gold Rush, Red Eye wide body package, and this is actually one of 34 produced in 2021. So this is a very low production car, which to me, I think this car is going to have pretty good value, always hold value, because of just what I told you. Over here is the Scat Pack, and yeah, I think this will always have good value, but it's not like it's have stupid value, because there's just so many of these Scat Pack wide bodies out there. Just great cars. We had a great time driving them down, and just really a great road car. What's really incredible is you don't see the GT500s here, which I had very low production GT500 Heritage Edition. That was like the last run, and I parted with those. I mean, in all sincerity, I came to closure to part with my GT500s over the Mopars. I just kind of, it's just a lot of debt, a lot of cars. Hey, is my coffee ready? Coffee maker out here. It is. I need some coffee. Haven't had breakfast. We'll have to go up the road to get that. And I stayed out here last night checking over the Indians. And you look at the Indian product here, which I just really do love the Indian product. I mean, it's such the mental challenge, because you have the Harleys, but you have the Indians. But the Indians are such a nice motorcycle. And yes, the Harley is as well. But as far as the production on these vehicles, like here's an example right here. This Indian Challenger Elite Series, which at the last second this popped in my life. Hard to believe it's going to be June, a year ago, that I bought this motorcycle. And I think I've ridden this thing a whopping 2 times, 3 times maybe. Yeah, the whole Harley thing kind of changed the whole dynamics of that. But this is supposed to be a very low production motorcycle. This is supposed to be, I think, one of 200 or 250. Somebody, I think, said it's one of 200 stateside, and others went to Europe and Canada. Now, I don't really know all the exact statistics on that, but anybody watching my channel will be like, well, what makes this thing so special? Well, it's the theme. It's more of a theme, paint theme, that in so many ways is copying the CVO, the Harley-Davidson CVO line, because of the special, aesthetics and graphics, the paint. And so it's more about the actual paint, theme, versus of having a more powerful motor. No. So it's all about the looks. So does that really draw in great value? Because they decided to make this such a low production vehicle? And, you know, so it's kind of, you know, it's debatable, but at the same time, I have done a little research, and those things are not for sale in the market. I don't see them. Now, here's another Indian Elite product. And here's really what's interesting here about this. I bought this motorcycle in February 2021, did a whole video of me going to Pennsylvania and buying this. And this was a motorcycle that didn't really get a lot of flavor, didn't get a lot of attention. It was kind of sitting around, and they had to discount this motorcycle to sell it. And anybody watching my channel here, you know, here's two totally different motorcycles side by side. This is a air-cooled motor, and the other one, the Challenger, is a liquid-cooled motor. So the Indian Chieftain, this is what they call Indian Chieftain, is non-liquid cooled. It's only air cooled, so it has a totally different feel and noise in that engine compared to the Indian Challenger. The Indian Challenger, first start that up, it kind of is a mundane initial kind of startup of that water-cooled motor. This motor here, it's that true V-twin traditional, you know, start up the engine, and that exhaust is just really an aggressive, nice exhaust. And I got to get my coffee here. So, but this is another product. This Indian Elite Chieftain is a limited production motorcycle. So for the Indian line of products competing against Harley-Davidson's line is the CVO, Custom Vehicle Operations Division, that builds just limited production of the really high-end, all decorated, and they have a different motor than the rest of the line of the product line that they sell, to actually even raise it a little higher on value. Versus Indian doesn't do that. Indians, you know, you can get the 116 motor in that V-twin over there, and any Chieftain per se, it's what level model you get. So it's not like the Elite series separates itself on the Indian side of a bigger, badder motor and faster motorcycle. Indian didn't go that route. They're going more about the aesthetics, the paint theme, and so it's a. I mean, I really love my Indian product, but you know, it's all about the Harley. The Harleys, you know, it's such a challenge, as I was saying a moment ago. But to kind of wrap it up in the Elite series, I think that it's a really nice product. And did I buy it because I thought I was going to be able to make a bunch of money off of it? No. I mean, I bought them because I really like the way they look. I really like, this is the Road Glide. I mean, for the people that aren't really following motorcycles that much, this is the Indian Road Glide competitor for the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. The way the front fairing is, a fixed fairing, versus the Batwing. And so when you turn the handlebars, this fairing does not move. It stays straight. On this motorcycle here, you call it the Batwing, and when you turn your handlebars, that whole front end moves with the handlebars. And so it's really the copycat. Indian really kind of came along and made the Chieftain series to be a competitor against like the Street Glide. So Indian's really just toe healing off of Harley-Davidson. But on production numbers of Indian in comparison to Harley-Davidson, it's not even close. I mean, Indian's not even close. Indian is a flea in the market in comparison to Harley-Davidson worldwide sales. So, great products. And here's the Indian Super Chief, which they brought back the Chief model in 2022. I believe it could be 2021. Now, for me, there's just so many vehicles that I own and so many different things. I mean, it is so challenging to keep track of what model, what year, what this, what that, because there's just so many different things that I own in my life. It'd be one thing if I owned like 3 or 4 vehicles, and I could just sit here and rattle off every little detail of everything. And so this paint theme, or I should say the paint color, not so much the pinstripe. So on the Indian Super Chief, I wanted this motorcycle for over the last year plus. I'm going to drink my coffee here for a second. Boy, that coffee's so hot. I got it. I got to get ice for it. But the thing is, this color is a very low production Super Chief limited color. You know, the biggest dominant color is black. And so for me, for the longest time, I was waiting for this color to come in. Really, at here at the Friendship Indian dealership that's local here. And I was really wanting to buy one of those from them. But this played out in Florida. If you watch my channel, you'll see the whole video of me finding this used Super Chief where conservative, I've saved myself $8,000, if not $10,000 on that motorcycle. Pretty crazy. I got that motorcycle really borderline cheaper than I did the Indian Chief Bobber. Yeah, there's Indian Chief Bobber still sitting in Florida. There's a Harley Davidson CVO Road Glide sitting in Florida. For anybody that's really staying in tune with my channel, do you remember that? I have 2 motorcycles sitting in Florida. And I was supposed to be down in Florida back in March. I left in January. I'm supposed to be back down there. And there's the CVOs. Right now I have 2 CVOs. And those are the low production motorcycles more so than ever. And what's really interesting is Harley Davidson so many years ago fired its CEO due to production challenges, because Harley Davidson was just building so many vehicles. Oh, I got my ice bag out here. I gotta put some ice in my coffee. And wow, what's going on there? Got my whole little kitchen out here in my man cave. This is the man cave. Everybody here that's kind of, you have no idea if I could show you before and after pictures of this whole downstairs of this garage and this basement in here. It was just whole different world. And I literally cleaned it all up, and I've made it into my man cave, because this house is a 3-story house and it's brutal going up and down these stairs. And I used to be way upstairs. I used to be up on the 3rd floor, and I just dreaded it. That's 2nd floor. That's 3rd floor up there where my kid is. And I'd come in late at night with all my gear, and now I had to walk 3 flights to get all my gear upstairs. And so finally I got this whole area cleaned up, and the whole lower basement here, and I have a whole bedroom in the back now, and it's got a bath, so it's really, really cool. So I've got my own man cave down here in Tennessee, which my mother-in-law has been so nice to let me just make this into my lower living area. I guess if dire straits ever come to my life, you'll know where to find me. It'll be in the basement of my mother-in-law's house. It would not be the running joke of the world. Yeah, who hasn't heard these stories? Yeah, the wild man guy that owns how many friggin' vehicles? Yeah, you think you're so Mr. Badass, you can just buy anything you want, right? As you go broke. Yeah, you know these stories, right? Hey, that helps out a lot. So, listen, and it's really, I think they did a good job. I think the new CEO, the Puma guy, the new CEO of Harley Davidson, which he took over like 4 or 5 years ago now, at least, that is a former CEO of Puma shoes. And the first thing they did is they literally took away, first thing he did is he literally cut back the production of those CVOs. It was ridiculous. I was buying these very expensive Harley Davidson CVOs, and it was like, for what? Sorry if I'm drinking the coffee in front of you there, but we'd buy these Harley Davidson CVOs, and everybody had these Harley Davidson CVOs. But that's all changed because he has deliberately cut back production, and I like that, because now these CVOs are, holding better value, not crazy value, but at the same time, if you're the guy in the market for a new CVO, you're like, what? These things are $45,000? Yeah, $48,000? Yeah, I mean, sincerely, that's where these new CVOs are. And they're doing the thing where it's going to be a limited run. Yeah, a lot of my head today, right? I didn't bring down my little tripod thing. I should have. It's like, hey, am I making you dizzy yet? You watch my channels, I walk around in circles. I know, I need to just sit down in my chair. It's incredible. I sit down in that chair in my office, and it so irritates my gird. So because of the body posture versus me standing up, it doesn't irritate my gird, so I don't have this constant challenge of wanting to cough or whatever, because it's the body position. Gird, if you don't know what gird is, look it up, and you're going to be like disgusting beyond disgusting. Learn how not to get gird. Let's go away. That way you just kind of get to see the scenery as I talk here. So as far as production, yeah, what drove this conversation? What drove the conversation was that the Ford Mach-E, my numbers should be off, but what I'm seeing from the internet news, automotive news, that Ford developed Ford's first quarter last year of bringing the new Ford Mustang Mach-E to market, they built like either 18,000 cars or like 30,000 cars. It's one of those two numbers. I just can't remember. But in comparison to 2023, they built like 7,000 cars. Okay, so here's Jim Farley. Here's Jim Farley that's, mouthing off in so many ways. So does this make any sense? So the EV sales for first quarter Ford was through the roof. Well, we all know the gas prices were $5 a gallon. And everybody talked all day long about the gas prices. Everybody talked all day long about buying an electric vehicle. And so, but here, that's huge. So they're down. They're down by, massive. But here's the thing. I hear the conversations among the dealerships. The people aren't coming in to buy these electric vehicles. And is it Lucid Motors? Their numbers, even their numbers from first quarter of last year compared to this first quarter this year, it is it's radical. Only guy that's really doing very well is Tesla. But Tesla has just that long following. And so Tesla sold 153,000 electric vehicles in the first quarter. Well, there was 219,000 total electric vehicle sales. This is all, I believe it's domestic, but I'll just say this is the 219,000 sales, and Tesla had 153,000 of those. Others were the a little bit of the Mach-E, a little bit of the Lucid, a little bit of the Rivian. Rivian numbers weren't that great, and the Ford F-150 Lightning numbers weren't that great. So you have to say to yourself, the trend of the push of the EV market, it just ain't happening. And that's what I was talking about yesterday when I was coming down here, about how this Hellcat, my Hellcat yesterday, averaged 24 miles per gallon. Beyond believable. This is an 800 horsepower car, V8 motor, very heavy car with my body in it and all my luggage in it. That was 5,000 pounds going down the road and me doing really good speeds. And so for the Mopar division, they're going to get rid of this car because they're all thinking that everybody wants to go buy electric cars. And it's such a huge mistake. I only wish the Stellantis CEO would kind of step back and watch what's going on at Ford. Ford should be the perfect business model of what's going on in the growing trend of the changeover to EV from ICE. Let me get some coffee here. It's incredibly beautiful down here. It's just a beautiful day. We're going to ride the motorcycles today. Definitely take the Indians out and get some free-spirited riding time and enjoy the mountains, and we'll do some video on that. The kid's really excited about her Indian. Last night, I put on the extended seat, and at first, like her, I didn't even know that was really a different seat. But if the seat, change out the seat, the way it's molded, it pushes her, it pushes you forward a little bit, and it really does look like this now is going to have her in better position. Here's the thing. This is the better bike than the Street Bob. And some people think, well, why is that? Well, first of all, it's got ABS. And some be like, yeah, but ABS, what, blah, blah, blah about ABS. Well, this thing also has a really nice front windshield, which I even offered to take that off last night for my daughter. Just a real quick release right there. It's pretty cool. She's like, no way, I want that. I put on nice lowers for her. But in many aspects, and the way this bike feels. But that Street Bob, I'll tell you, the Street Bob's a nice bike. But I really like the ABS. Some people are like, yeah, but ABS, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you what, my daughter last fall, went down on that Harley Street Bob because she just didn't realize that when you grab those brakes, oh, here they come. Here comes my little babies. Hey there, what you doing, babies? Oh, here comes the daughter. Here comes the Street Bob Indian Super Chief lady right here. How about that, huh? Have they done business? Come on, puppies. Just go to the bathroom. Come on, little baby. Come on. Here you are. Yeah, come on. Yeah, right now, they can roam and run, and there's no fence or nothing here. Wow. So going back to Ford should be a real stern warning to Stellantis, because Ford still has an ICE division that's relatively healthy, but there's even talk now that Ford isn't doing great on their sales in their I don't know. I mean, I'm just not that in depth on knowing really the real numbers. But a lot of people are talking that Ford's lots are getting pretty healthy again. But the point is, Ford still has the ICE division to use the monies to put towards the EV division. But here's Stellantis that's really wanting to go all out EV. And for them, I just think to myself, why? I was talking about this yesterday. Why they continue to build the muscle end and just go really heavy on the giveaway EV vehicles to keep that MPG number down for that EPA guidelines, and still have money in the bank on the ICE side, where I just think that Stellantis totally, they're totally on the page of EV, even though I'll say this, the Jeep brand is very strong for them. The Ram brand is very strong for them. So in that aspect, I can't see Stellantis getting into real financial trouble per se. And they've actually been very slow to get into the EV market. So that's kind of what's kind of interesting is in some aspects, Dodge has so been reluctant, but it hasn't been so much that. It's been the money factor, the R&D. And that's why eventually the Fiat Chrysler Automotive Group sold out to Stellantis, the Peugeot brand, the European brand, because they needed that money, that big bank account roll to be able to start transitioning into trends. But right now, the EV production numbers are pretty bad. They're just not that great. I know it's all about the EV conversation. Well, it's because all it is anymore is everything's all about the EV. Where'd my other dog go? My other dog goes. And the kid's anxious. I'm anxious. I'm going to kind of, keep this video kind of that. I kind of talk a little bit more, which I will a little bit here. So the production numbers, producing, what comes from so many here picking up these ICE vehicles. Where'd Miss Ginger go? Ginger, where is she? They just sneak. Oh, she's right hiding behind the bush. So the does the low production numbers on these ICE vehicles, like the Dodge Demon 170. I mean, come on, 3,000 units built. I mean, isn't that just kind of irritating? Why would they do like a 2 or 3 year run on that Demon 170? I mean, really, it's so aggravating that Dodge goes out in the last call and they just make 3,000 of them. Whenever we predicted it would be a joke. It'd be so lucky to get one, and it really is. And everybody would be so lucky to get one. So to me, it's just kind of disheartening, if you know what I mean. But anyways, back to the producing things. The dog should have been heard. Yeah. Uh-oh. There's the one little shot. Scaredy cats, here they come. That's all it takes. Somebody just shot their gun. They're like, we're coming in. It's over, right? All right, I think that's it. I'm going to keep it over. I want to get breakfast. We got busy things to do. We got to go ride motorcycles. Breakfast, and then we're going to go ride motorcycles. You want to do that today, kid?
Yeah.
Is that seat definitely different?
Yes.
Okay, good to hear that. Everybody, hey, thanks for tuning to my Indian motorcycle conversations this morning. And stay tuned for us sharing our fun time today, like we shared our fun time yesterday. And we're hungry. We want breakfast. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Stay safe. God bless. And have a great day.